I'm going to talk about why starting the gym is a brilliant idea, even if you quit. I struggled for over 8 years to get consistent in the gym, and I ended up over 20% body fat. However, I was finally able to clean things up, and I was able to achieve the lean Fight Club physique that I'd always wanted. By the end of this video, you'll know 3 mindset tricks that will make you more motivated for the gym than ever before. Remember when you were learning to drive? Which lesson was it that you learned the most on? It was probably the first one, right? You learned the basics. How to turn the car on, how to get the bike point, how to change gears, when to check your mirrors. On your 10th, 15th or 20th lesson, you might have only learnt one new thing, if you learnt anything at all. If suddenly you quit after your 10th lesson, would it be a complete waste of time? Would you have forgotten everything that you learnt previously? Of course not. The next time you restart, you'll have a higher level of knowledge than before. And when you next go back to it, you'll be able to start making progress again much quicker. And it's the same with the gym. When you first start, you learn the basics, how to use the particular machine, how to load plates onto a barbell. You learn where all the different machines are in your gym and what equipment is available, how to perform an exercise, and so many other things which you don't even realize until you've actually been to the gym. And that's point number 1, is that you'll learn the most from your first sessions. Point number 2 for going to the gym, even if you eventually quit, is that you can identify the reasons why you quit. The more times you try, the more times you can see why you quit. I have a whole lecture on this in the Fight Club Physique program. I won't have time to go through all the points in this video, but here's a short clip from the course. So, first of all, not seeing results fast enough. And I think to help this is just focus on being KPI every week. KPI meaning key performance indicator. So for us, that's the 0.5 to 1% of total body weight per week. If that is in KPI, then we don't have to worry about anything else. Just let the rest take care of itself. Excitement or initial motivation fades. So we can just keep the vision in mind of this dream outcome and just keep weighing ourselves every morning. And this will be a non-negotiable. It really helps to create momentum, and you can gain a win every single morning. And trust me, when you step on the scales in the morning and you can see the weight has gone in the right direction, then it's such a good feeling. So here's a practical tip for you to take away for the next time that you're remotivated to start going to the gym. You can do an exercise that's called a pre-mortem. And that is an exercise where you foresee the potential future reasons why you might quit. Next time you're motivated to go to the gym, you can put plans in place to try and mitigate the risk of that particular reason happening. For example, if the last time you quit the gym was because you moved house and you were kicked out of the routine and you had to quit the previous gym you were at and you just didn't get things rolling in your new location. Well, next time you do a pre-mortem in your mind and you can think, okay, last time moving house was the reason that I quit. What can I do to try and mitigate that from being the reason again? And you can include it in your moving plans. You could say to yourself, all right, on the first day that I move, I'm going to go straight to a gym and sign up and do a session, or do a session the next day. And that will prevent it from ever happening again. And each time you do quit, if that happens, you'll have this new reason, and you can basically mitigate that from happening again in the future until you're finally consistent. When I first started doing skull crushers in the gym, which is a tricep exercise, I had this strange pain in my elbow, and I wasn't feeling it too much in my triceps. So I thought to myself, my technique must be wrong. I need to try and fix that. So what I do when I'm in this position is I'll usually go on my phone at the gym, and I would watch a YouTube short on the proper technique for a particular exercise. And it's great because I'm right there. I have the bar with me and I can practice it straight away and see if it actually makes an improvement. And what I found was that instead of taking the bar towards your forehead, another method is to basically go like behind your head, and you get this extra stretch on your tricep. And when I tried that, I felt much more of a contraction in my tricep, and it just felt a lot more comfortable. And I've been doing that ever since. So, point number three is that by going to the gym, you're basically able to unlock new levels of questions. Because before I had tried the Skull Crusher, I wouldn't have known that I needed to look it up, like how to do it without giving it a go first. And you basically save so much time, because if I had, for example, looked up the form for a different exercise like bicep curls, and I was doing all this research and I was thinking, I need to know how to be able to do it before I go to the gym, then if I go to the gym and my form is fine anyway, then I've just wasted time looking up the form for the bicep curl. So it's such a time saver because you don't end up researching for problems that you don't even have. And every gym session is an opportunity to learn something new and build on your knowledge. And even if you quit again, the next time you start, you'll have this higher base level of knowledge than you did before. So it wasn't a complete waste of time. And over weeks and months, if you keep slowly building up this knowledge session by session, even if you have a big break, you'll be in a better position in the long run. Just like in a video game where you unlock new quests or new areas of a map, in the gym you unlock new abilities as well. You have better form on your exercises. You're able to come up with better training programs. You're able to know how much cardio to do and when to fit it in, and what the best exercises are for each body part, or what your favorites are. So just focus on the now. Don't get too hung up. If you quit, just try and get back into your routine as quickly as possible and learn from your previous mistakes, and eventually you'll be able to become consistent. So speaking of cardio, if you like this video, you might also like this video on the exact cardio that I did to achieve 10% body fat. See you next time.